Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we are going to do Mind of Thuja. So there is a theme of feeling of fragility, of being frail, a feeling of weakness within oneself. So Thuja is a strongly psychotic remedy, and there is a psychotic feeling of having something wrong with oneself, of being weak, and it is also found in Medorinum. So I have often found this feeling of fragility in Thuja expressed in the physical sphere, where the patient feels that any article of food or drink is surely bound to cause him problems, and that his system cannot take things such as drugs, allergens, emotional stress, or even a draught of air. So he tries to avoid all these factors and attempts to keep him covered from exposure to the same. So this avoidances only reinforce the fear, and this vicious cycle goes on, making of Thuja one of the main remedies for neurosis with several obsessive compulsive traits and fixed ideas and behavioral patterns. So I have found that patients in their follow-up often say that even a single dose of the placebo aggravated them so much that they had to stop it completely. On the other hand, some patients insist that unless they take the dose, all their complaints return, and they want to keep taking the doses ever so often. So, in the emotional sphere, this feeling of fragility is manifested in the fear of losing face in society. So, the person believes that he has a certain image in society of being religious, morally upright, clean, honest person, free from human failings such as dishonesty, sexual temptations, etc. So, thus, he presents an elevated picture of himself and is afraid that any little slip on his part might reveal the real him or the bad part of him which he has tried so hard to cover up. So, in this bad part lies his dishonesty, sexual desires, which may even be for close relatives, his immoral or irreligious feelings. So, if this is discovered, he is going to fall down from his imagined elevated position and will be finished. So, thus, his survival depends on a complete cover up, and there is a tremendous anxiety of being exposed. So, translated into expressions, the Thuja person is secretive and talks to the physician as if he is sharing a secret. So, he is conscious of the presence of other person, especially strangers. So, in rubrics, you have the feeling of floating in the air. So, delusions, body lighter than air, and dreams of falling from high places, which represents his fear of falling from his elevated position. So, thus, Thuja seems to come from a situation of religious order in society or from any situation that demands rigidity in thinking, very fixed ideas. So, theocracies like those in the Middle East would require this remedy. Also, many of the strict religious leaders with rigid ideas about sin often have many skeletons in their cupboards and many times required puja. So, in fact, religious fanaticism is one of the rubrics. In the physical sphere, you have stiffness, which is the manifestation of fixity, the eruptions which occur on the covered parts as if they don't want to be seen, jerks from sleep as if falling from high places. I have also observed that many Thuja patients have corrugated nails, hair on the middle phalanx of fingers and on the other unusual parts, for example, the pinna of the ears, strong smelling sweat, especially about the genitals, fleshy pedunculated warts, moles. So they sweat from the axilla, and the sweat may leave the yellowish stain or a saltish sediment, and it may be oily. So they are chilly and like hot bath. Thuja women can be very afraid of pregnancy and often have the sensation of being pregnant with associated feeling of guilt. So this woman can also be jealous and may have fixed ideas that the husband is faithless. I have also observed that many Thuja people often exhibit a preference for the color green. Thank you.